Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Mrs. Lynn's Cooking. Today we're going to make grits. All you will need is a pot, some butter, and grits. And I used the Jimmy Dean's 5-minute grits. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our grits in a small pot. I use 1 cup of grits when I'm cooking for 3. So I've got 1 cup of grits. Then I'm going to take it over to the water, and I'm going to add warm water to it, filling it up to where you're covering up the grits. You just want to make sure these grits are covered really well. And as if you can see, they're covered, I'm going to say about 2 inches above the grits themselves. And the secret is when you're doing grits, do not leave them. You got to put them on the stove on medium-high heat, and we're going to let them cook. And you've got to continuously stir. Okay, what we're doing, you can see that they're starting to boil. And I'm going to stir them, so I'm going to take them off of the heat over here and stir it so that they don't stick to the bottom. Once we do that, then we take it back on the heat, and we put a lid on it, and we just keep doing this back and forth. Okay, I'm taking my lid off. You can see it starting to bubble still. I'm going to move it over. We're going to stir it, and you can tell that it's starting to thicken up. But you got to keep stirring. And make sure you put that lid back on. Okay, and you can see it's still boiling. I'm going to move it over here. Take the lid off. We're going to stir it again. And you can tell every time you do it that they're thickening up nicely. And then we put the lid back on and put it back on the stove. Okay, we're going to do it again. And I'm letting this sit on the stove for about 30 seconds in between intervals and stirring. And yes, they're thickening up nicely. But like I said, just keep stirring them. That is the key to grits, is stir. And you can feel it when you start to stir them. You can feel the bottom of it trying to stick. So we're going to put it back on the stove again. Put our lid back on and do it again. Okay, we're going to do it again. And it's just a process of going back and forth. And you can see how they're thickening up. We're going to get them a little bit thicker than that. And they're called 5-minute instant grits. Okay, you can hear a thick bubble popping up. Take them off. And at this point, your grits are done. And all you need to do is add butter. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take the lid off of them, off the heat. I've got 3 tablespoons of butter that I'm putting in here. And then we're going to put the lid on until the butter melts and then stir it all together. Okay, now I've let them set for a minute or 2. You can see the butter is starting to melt. And then we're just going to stir it all in there. And voila, we have made grits. If you like my video, please like and subscribe.